Hi, hello, Cathy, your wellness coach. And we are in our day 10, day 10 of our 30-day challenge with Team OmniSam. This is the Sparkle Live Challenge. So we're going 30 days, every day we're going live. And I owe OmniSam a whole bunch, so this is my way of giving back, so to speak. So today's question, and there's always two, so one I get asked and then one I get to ask whoever is listening. So today's question was, what is one tip that I would give to a new business owner? And this is very close to my heart, as I will say the most important tip I could give you is, if you're new and theoretically you still have, like, let's say a 9 to 5, i.e. you still are working for someone else, stay with your current or present employer until which time you are actually making enough money to replace said career before you go solo. I know in some instances you'll hear, oh, just, throw it all in, right? Quit, burn your bridges, burn your boats, right? And people forget that you have to eat, you have to pay rent, or you have to pay your mortgage, so forth and so on. You have daily expenses. And I got caught up in the hype, not right away. In 2005 is actually when I did start an entrepreneurial journey. I started a side business, and I hadn't left my career, which was fine. And then people would say, well, you're not giving it your total, your total attention, which was true. And though I didn't have to worry about not being able to pay my bills, right? So I didn't get drastic. I didn't get desperate. Then in 2009, I found a wonderful service, which I still market, but I got caught up in the hype about, oh, you have to burn all your bridges. No. It would have made more sense for me to stay with. Now, given I thought for sure that I could find, enough, I guess you could say, temporary work, but I actually left a career that I had no reason to leave, other than the fact that I was feeling unsatisfied, so to speak, but not in a toxic situation. There was a lot of other factors personally that were going on why I left the job that I had. But what I'm getting at is the tip is so important. Don't leave if you are currently working for someone else simply to start a new position. Because there are so many remote online businesses that you can create and not sacrifice, again, the security that you have up until which time you are making, again, at least enough to know that you're going to be okay if and when you do decide to leave your current position. I think that's really important because, again, too much hype, too much hustle culture for people's brains, including mine, saying that, oh, no, burn all your bridges, burn all the boats, and then just go full on. Well, if you have enough saved up, go for it. But otherwise, no, you need to be practical in such a way that you don't put undue stress on your nervous system. I'm a wellness coach. Undue stress is how people end up with untenable situations with their health, okay? Seemingly out of nowhere, no, it's because you had chronic low-grade stress all the way up until that episode of whatever it was. So do yourself a big favor. If you are new, to the entrepreneurial journey, if in fact you are still in another, let's say, career working for someone else, take that transition as strategically as you can and don't put undue pressure on yourself, okay? You should be wanting to, and should be able to take on your new business with the idea that you're not going to burn yourself out, okay? And that's important. So my question to you is, if in fact you have, the inclination of starting a business, are you working right now for someone else? i.e., how do you make a living? Ask yourself that question, and I want to know what your answer is, and then how many of you are in that situation where you're ready to start a business, but you're not sure if you want to quit okay, to start the business, or if you just want to try and finagle so that you can see how it's going to work. I say drop in the comments again, where you're at right now in that decision. And I'd love to talk to you. Until tomorrow, take care, take charge. God bless.